Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Stupid Gun Myths. I'm Mike B, coming at you from Mommy's basement. And I'm actually caught a little cold and a little bit sickly for the first time in about 2 years. So that's probably why I'm going to selling a bag of smashed assholes through this whole thing. But you know what? You guys want videos? I'll make them. I never take a day off. I mean, actually I do. That's a blatant lie. But anyway, this myth is going to be kind of the one that's been being quoted a lot, very frequently in the comments on the, they could use our ammo, but we couldn't use theirs myth video, which is really popular. And I decided to make a video on this. It's kind of a separate thing, but basically, if you want to stop watching right now and just take away one thing that I'm going to say again that I said in the other video, use the ammunition your firearm is intended for. Don't be fucking around with the interchangeability. Oh, just because it's cool and because I can. You know, just because you can doesn't mean you should. You're going to have problems. There's a reason things are designed a certain way. Now, that being said, those of you that are still staying past that mark and want to kind of get an inside scoop on these two little guys right here, we're going to be talking about the fact that people think that the Russians designed the 9x18 Makarov cartridge to be interchangeable so they could use the 9x19 NATO or 9x19 Luger in their Makarov pistols, but the 9x19 Luger or NATO calibers, handguns like this, Walther P1, could not use the 9x18 Makarov. Now, it's kind of a crock of shit, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I'll demonstrate. So we're going to take this P1 that's 9 chances out of 10 got a shitload of ammo in it, and it's going to be really oh, God, look at that. But I actually have to do this to demonstrate what I want to do. So I'm just going to do this really quick. Here's a 9x18 Makarov in a pistol chambered for 9x19. It's not going into battery all the way. It's not going to be a good day if you actually do fire it, and I'll tell you why in a second. There, oh my God, it's clear. Did he just load a gun in his house? Yep, that's why my drywall it looks like fucking Swiss cheese. I mean, I do it all the time, and I'm shooting through walls. My neighbors are getting upset. Kind of called the cops on me, but they don't even want to show up either because they don't know when a fucking round's going to go through the wall because of all these videos I make and all these rounds I put in pistols. Anyway, so that's the 9x18 Makarov. It kind of chambers. This thing's got a little bit looser chamber. I guess I can get other guns, but you get my point. And here's a 9x19 in a pistol chambered for 9x18 Makarov. This one will actually kind of chamber. It's not going to go fully into battery. It's just a little bit off, right? I'm sure it would still fire, but I'm not that big of a dipshit to actually put the wrong caliber down my weapons. So I'm not going to be demonstrating that for you. So sorry if you wanted to see some fireworks. I'm not going to be doing that. Now, there's several reasons. Just because it will chamber doesn't mean you should do it, and here's why. The 9x18 Makarov, that little guy right there, the bullet diameter on that is 9.27 millimeters or 0.365 inches. On the 9x19 NATO, the bullet diameter is 9.01 millimeters or 0.355 inches. That's 1/100 of an inch's worth of difference, which is actually a very important and not a good thing to. It's a very important point because for a bullet to work and a handgun or any gun to be accurate and reliable and kind of consistent and relatively safe, there needs to be a gas seal behind the bullet, which means that no gas is going on the sides of the bullet while the bullet is being pushed down and pretty much reamed through the barrel. There needs to be a tight gas seal to allow for A, more velocity, and B, to regulate pressure, so there's a consistent pressure in there. And then when it's released from the barrel, it's not going to be wobbly. It's going to, stabilize a lot better and all that stuff. That's just a basic reason why gas seals are very important. If you put a bullet that is smaller, like by that much too, down a barrel and it doesn't seal up right, first of all, you're going to have super bad accuracy issues. You're going to have reliability issues, pressure issues, velocity issues, and all that stuff. And you're just not going to get a good gas seal. It's really not that great to be doing that. And in the chamber of the weapon or whatever, you're also going to have gas escaping around the case itself. They're going to be shaped a little bit different. Just not a good idea, right? Now, the bullet diameter thing aside, yes, okay, you could technically run that bullet if you pulled it. You're just an idiot pulling these bullets and putting them over into the 9x18 Makarov cartridge. You could run it down a 9x18 Makarov barrel, but it's not advisable, and I don't know why you wouldn't just use the enemy's captured weapon if you have access to their ammo, excuse me. And another thing is, people were saying, well, if they could just reload it. It's like, why would you take the time to do that in a combat situation? Why the hell would you do that? It's bullshit. You cannot use 9x19 NATO in a 9x18mm pistol. Maybe you could, but don't. It's stupid. Again, I will say it again. Use the correct ammunition for your firearm. Now, here's the real safety issue, right? If you decide to run a 9x19 through a 9x18 Makarov, you're going to have pressure issues really bad. And I'm not just talking about the gas seal. I'm talking the fact that the 9x18 is actually probably the biggest or one of the biggest pistol cartridges that is made and designed specifically for a direct blowback system like the CZ82 or the P64 or the Makarov. It's not designed for a locking, either toggle or rollers like the CZ52, but this thing actually locks. It's like an early, was it Browning style locking mechanism. It's not just direct blowback like this thing is. This barrel is actually part of the frame, which is interesting. It's not a separate piece. It doesn't lock itself. It's just the cycling of the action is all the energy from the round coming backwards. Now, that being said, the pressure on that round, because of the direct blowback, you don't want to have too much pressure or else you're going to start hurting your hand a little bit. The pressure on the 9x18 Makarov is should max out at between 20 and around 23,000 PSI, pounds per square inch. That's what I've gotten doing a Google search, right? And it's pretty consistent. I'm not giving you advice on what loads you should use or whatever, but it's kind of estimated that military loads are between 20 and 23,000 PSI. Now, the 9x19 NATO and whatever other, little load differentials kind of factor in here is going to be around 35,000 PSI because of the fact that it's designed for pistols that have a locking system and use the delayed blowback instead of the direct blowback. You can get away with that in a delayed blowback system. You cannot get away with that in a direct blowback handgun. This pistol is not rated for 35,000 PSI. I mean, it might be okay, but again, is it really worth risking it and possibly having a catastrophic failure and getting a bunch of metal shards in your hands and face? And it's just not a good thing. Use the correct ammunition. Now, sorry, I'm being a whiny little bitch here. So that is the pressure difference, and that's the big reason why you really should not be interchanging these things. Now, there is some form of truth to this myth, just like every myth. And what people, I think, are mistaking is the fact that the 380 Auto or 380 ACP is kind of interchangeable with the 9x18 Makarov. You can fire it, and it'll chamber and fire out of a 9x18 Makarov chambered cartridge. Now, I don't know. I think that was actually an intentional thing. 380 ACP is a European round, and it was, I don't know if it was an official or unofficial NATO round for quite some time. But just like the 9x19, the 380 ACP is also a 9.01 millimeter bullet, or 0.355 inches. So it's going to be smaller. You're not going to have as good of a gas seal. Its pressure is very similar to the 9x18 Makarov. So it's not going to be a safety issue like that. It's just not going to perform as well. You're going to have extraction issues. There's videos, I think, of people doing this and demonstrating it. That's where this myth kind of stems from. So there is some form of truth to it, but it's definitely not the 9x19 is interchangeable with the 9x18. It's just not the way it goes. So, and also, you cannot chamber a 9x18 Makarov in a 380 chambered pistol. We use this exquisite piece of shit right here. Here's the 9x18 Makarov. We'll try to drop it into this. This is the only 380 handgun I currently have, so I'm sorry about that. You're just going to have to bear with me. There we go. So, the slide's not going to even go forward on this. Right there, you can see. It's just such... Yeah, it's really safe, too, doing that. I'm not even gonna put any pressure on it because this firing pin is not... It's not a safe design. Yes, I did that in my house. Yes, I know what I'm doing. No, I do not advise doing it. But you can't even get the 9x18 into the chamber at all with a 380 chambered handgun. Now you can I'll demonstrate this and wrap the video up. You can drop a 380 into a 9x18 Makarov pistol. See, it went fully into battery that time. So there's your element of truth. So it's kind of a unique video. There's some truth to it, like everything, and it was kind of cool to demonstrate that. But I think there was just a confusion. But it becomes FUD lore, and people think they can do it, and that's how people get hurt and give gun owners kind of a bad name, if you will, when it comes to intelligence. Yeah, you see videos of people blowing stuff up, people do it, and whatever. Anyway, that's a different rant. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something about the bullet diameters of these different little cartridges and the pressures from the 9x18 and 9x19. The 380 ACP is very similar to that. I don't know if I said that. I think I did. So I didn't get the exact numbers, though. All right, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me the idea to do this video. Let me know if I missed something. I probably did. I kind of do these on the fly, but I had a little bit of homework done for the numbers on this one. But anyway, I'll wrap the video up. If you consider becoming a supporter on Patreon, check out the link in the description. It's $1 a month, $12 a year. It's a couple cups of coffee. Really helps me get props like this to make videos with, and I like having props to debunk the myths, like visually, instead of just me talking about it. So that really helps out with that. Crowdfunding is the way to go, because I can't really afford to self-fund my channel anymore after doing it for 6 years. So that'd be great if you consider that, but if not, I totally get it, and I just appreciate you watching the video. Yeah, so we'll see you on the next episode of Stupid Gun Myths.